And then how to perform Hajj. We have heard how to perform Umrah. Then we'll talk about the pillars of Hajj, compulsory, prohibited, and permitted act during Hajj. Now, we have already finished our Umrah. And since we are performing Tamattu, we are allowed to remove our Ihram, fold it, keep it, resumed our traditional dresses, and then all the restrictions and prohibitions are lifted until on the 8th day. For those performing Irani and those performing Ifradi, they will remain in those restrictions and in that haram until the 8th day, and they will continue from there. And that's why the question of my brother here, it's not easy for someone to remain in that harami and on those restrictions for a month. It's not easy. So now on 8th day, that is the day we call Yawmut Tarwiyah, the 8th day of Zulhijjah. That is the beginning of the Hajj. The day that Hajj is starting is on the 8th day. Every Hajj is starting on the 8th day. Is it clear? So on 8th day it is called Yawmut Tarwiyah. Why is it called Yawmut Tarwiyah? Because the Messenger ﷺ left Haram and he traveled all those about 7 to 8 kilometers away from Haram to where Jamarat are, where Ismail ﷺ was about to be slaughtered before he was ransomed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is it clear? So now the Messenger did that, they said, for two wisdom. Number one, in order to reduce the distance from away from Arafat. Because from Haram to Arafat is about 19 kilometers. 19 kilometers or more than 19. So now going to Jamarat, Mina, you are reducing at least 8 kilometers. So remain only 11, tomorrow you continue. The second reason is they had the problem of water. They don't have water. Not today that we have a lot of water. The Messenger ﷺ, during their lifetime, the worst situation is lack of water. So they will go to Muna in order to get water, to gather water that will be taken for Arafat. Wallahi, my Malam told me that if you can get this water for the whole day of Arafat, you are a king. In those days, they will be managing this water. So they will take themselves to Mina in order to gather water for the standing of Arafat. And that is why it is called Yawmut Tarwiyah, the day of gathering water. And that's the day when the Hajj starts. On that day, we are resuming our Ihram. You can take a ritual bath, put back on the haram that you have folded and kept for days. Now you are resuming the Ihram. For the women also, they can wear anyone, but the white one is better if they could, or black. So now, but make sure that whatever you wear does not expose your body. So now on that day we are going to declare another intention for Hajj, and that is Labbaik Allahumma Hajjan. Labbaik Allahumma Hajjan. Remember you said Labbaik Allahumma Umratan, and now Labbaik Allahumma Hajjan. But for those that are doing Tamattu'i and Irani and Ifrad, they don't need any attention again. Already they are in their intention because they have not stopped. Is it clear? It's only we that perform the Tamattu that we are going to declare the intention of Hajj on that day. Labbaik Allahumma Hajjan. Then we'll start chanting the Talbiyah, the slogan of Hajj, Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, Labbaik la sharika laka Labbaik. Buses will come and convey you to Mina. During their time they trek. So now buses are there to convey you to Mina. And due to crowds, now the Saudi authority was given verdict by the scholars that they can start transporting the pilgrims right in the night. In the night of 8th. That is 7th. In the night of 8th. So some pilgrims are being conveyed in the night to Mina. And there is nothing wrong in that. All that is required is those that are conveyed in the night should not declare their intention until tomorrow on 8th. The intention of Hajj is only declared on 8th day. Is it clear? Either here, if you are left, if you are allowed to stay there till tomorrow, or in Muna. I think it takes me 3 years. I have been declaring my intention in Muna in the morning. So after morning prayer, even sometimes I will take it to 8 or 9 before I declare the intention of Hajj. So you say, Labbaik Allahumma Hajjan. Now, you'll be taken to Muna. Muna is a tent location where tents are erected. In fact, air-conditioned tents, not during their lifetime when they were exposed to the sunlight. Now, you remain there during Zuhur. You are going to pray 5 prayers. Zuhur, you shorten it to 2 rakats. Of course, in the congregation. When the time of Asr comes, you pray Asr 2 rakats. When the Maghrib comes, you pray Maghrib complete 3 rakats. When the time Isha comes, you pray Isha 2 rakats. Then you sleep there. Tomorrow in the morning after Subuh prayer 2 rakats, after the day of the light has started brightening, then you go to Arafat. That's a serial way, sunnatically. But the same thing in Muna. On the 8th, the night of 9th, the night of Arafat, people will start being conveyed to Arafat. And there is nothing wrong because they are trying to reduce the crowd. I'm trying to bring this so that maybe you may fall a victim. I'm told that I will not go. No, if you don't go, you are going to trek. Because they will convey you there and there is nothing wrong in going there before the time. So either in that night or tomorrow, you'll be conveyed to Arafat on the 9th day. The 9th day is called Yawmu Arafat, the day of Arafat, the best day of Hajj and the best day of the year. So Arafat is a very wide plain area, very, very wide. And it has been demarcated with a yellow arrowed symbol that if you're outside the arrow, you can see it. It has been written, Arafat starts here from outside. And from inside, Arafat ends here. Make sure you're inside, not outside. So you'll be taken to your tents in Arafat. In those tents, Nigerian tents or most of the African countries are very close to the mountain because they know we love mountain. We love Mount Arafat. So we are very close to the mountain. And they are very close to the masjid. Masjid in Namira. So in each of the way, if you are in your tent, the day of Arafat is the day of ibadah and remembrance of Allah. Don't play with this day. It's an opportunity. You may not know that Allah has chosen you and you'll not go back there again. Isn't it? And remember, thousands and millions of people want to be there. They are not invited. Then why are you going to allow this opportunity to miss you? So remember Allah as much as you can. And when we say standing on the plain of Arafat, it does not mean that you stand from morning to evening. That's what people think. Sayuang Arafat. No, no, no. It does not mean sayuah that you stand. What it means is spending the day in the Arafat. It's only that it is recommendable when you are going to pray, you stand and face the Qibla, you pray, come back and sit down. You can sleep. You can discuss, but responsibly, like I said. You can eat, you can drink, you can do anything. But remember that remembrance of Allah is the most important thing on that day. The Messenger ﷺ says, Khairu yawmin yawmi Arafah. The best day is the day of Arafat. Wa khairu ma qultu ana wan nabiyyuna min qabli la ilaha illa Allah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. And the best I said, I and the messengers that came before me is la ilaha illa Allah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. This is the best dua of Arafah. Remember during my presentation earlier, I said, when you find yourself in the Arafat, the plain of Arafat, Allah invited you to renew your covenant. In that plain of Arafat, that was where the covenant was taken between we, the humankind, and Allah. In the body of Adam, Adam was made to stand at the bottom of the mountain, and Allah brought out the creatures, all his children, in his body, just like the hair, and he spoke to us. Alastu bi rabbikum? Am I not your creator? Are you not going to worship me? Qalu bala. We say, certainly we are going to worship you. So when we come to the world, many people deviated, but you are privileged and opportune to be a Muslim. And now going back to the same place where this promise was made is is a blessing. And that's why the messenger said, the best you can say is La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa ala kulli shay'in qadir. It's like the messenger is saying, you are telling Allah, oh Allah, I'm still in that promise. No one deserves to be worshipped except you, Allah. You have no partner. You have the dominion of the earth and heaven and earth, and you are able in everything. So you are telling Allah that you have submitted yourself. You are still in that submission and that promise that you made. So the best I said is La ilaha illallah wa la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa ala kulli shay'in qadir. When it is time for Zuhur, now those in various tents will have imams that will lead them in prayer. They are going to combine the two prayers, Zuhur and Asr, and shortening them. They will make the call, adhan, only once. They will make iqama for Zuhur, 2 rakats. After terminating the prayer, then they will make iqama for Asr, 2 rakats. That's for those in the tents. For those who that were able to go to the masjid al-Namira, where the messenger delivered his last sermon, then they are going to have the khutbah, the sermon before the prayer. The imam is going to deliver the khutbah, then he also prays. Adhan will be proclaimed, and then iqama will be set. Zuhur will be performed 2 rakat, and after that Asr will perform 2 rakat, and everyone will go. The only difference between you and the people of the masjid is the khutbah. So if you can go to masjid, alhamdulillah. If you cannot go, just remain in your tents. It's all the same. Because the messenger, the messenger did perform his prayer outside the plain of Arafah. Why? Because when he came, he was about to enter Arafat, and they camped outside. They were looking for a place to erect the tent for the messenger, alayhi salatu wasalam, where they could have a shade. And they saw a tree where maybe that one will provide a shade for the messenger, alayhi salatu wasalam. When they reached there, they saw a tiger, and that tiger is what is called Namira. Is it clear? Namira is tiger with the small children. So the tiger, when she saw the companions, she ran away, and they erected the tent where that tiger stayed. And that is where the messenger delivered his sermon, and that's where the masjid was erected, and that is why it is called Masjid al-Namira, the mosque of the tiger. Is it clear? So if you want to be there, you can go, but make sure that you have someone that knows where to follow, because sometimes before you can come back, you will suffer. So remain in your tents, you pray Zuhur and Asr, shortening and combining. And after that, you continue supplication. The whole day is left for you to ask Allah whatever you want to ask. And I don't think you have something that could not be delivered there. If I ask you to mention 100 problems, wallah, you cannot mention 100 problems. Even 50. If you are asked now to mention 50 problems, wallah, you cannot have it. You don't have it. So now the whole day of Arafat, particularly the prayers were combined. Zuhur and Asr at the time of Zuhur, maybe one. So Zuhur and Asr is combined. So you have how many hours? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even 7. You have 6 hours. 6 hours to upload your prayers. So you are given opportunity. Now say whatever you want to say. You are in the palace of Allah. The scholars are saying that the day of Arafat is better than the night of Laylatul Qadr. Why? The scholars said, night of Laylatul Qadr, Allah said, Tanazzalul malaikatu wa ruhu fiha. That the angels and their commander, Jibril, they came down in the Laylatul Qadr, isn't it? Now they said, okay, on the day of Arafat, it is Allah, or God himself, that will come down. The messenger mentioned, he said, Yadnu min al-ibadi. He will come he will come closer to the servant. And he will assemble the angels and tell them, oh my angels, look at my servants. They come from nooks and crannies of the earth. They wanted me. I want you to be a witness that I have forgiven them. And whatever their request is granted. So which one is better? Is it the day of Arafat or the night of power? The Arafat day. When you're talking of the day, that's the best day. And you are talking of the hours of the night, that's the best night. But of course, where Allah comes by himself is better than where Jibril comes. Is it clear? So now, it is up to you to upload your prayers. Whatever you think, get a book. Start writing all your problems now so that you don't forget any. Yes, so that the day of uploading the prayers, you bring out your book. Oh Allah, this is my problem. The first one is this, the second one is this, up to 100, up to 1,000. Remember the problems of others. Your parents are there, your children are there, your friends, your neighbors, your relatives. Nigeria is there, the leaders of Nigeria are there. Nigeria needs ruqiyya, you need to pray for. All this, remember us in your prayer. Yes. So the day of Arafat is the day of remembering Allah and the day of dua. All these hours, 6 hours, is for you to upload your prayers. Say whatever you think you want to. Your problems and that of others until the sun sets. Spending that day is the second pillar of Hajj. The niyyah that you declared on the 8th day is the first pillar of Hajj. And then spending the day in the plain of Arafat is the second pillar, Al-Hajju Arafah. And the messenger, after finishing the prayer, he came to the mountain. And he stood at the bottom of the mountain. The place has been earmarked and demarcated now. It has been condoned and the police are there. Why? Because if it allows people to go there, they will say, everyone will say, I will go to where the messenger stands. And there's going to be casualties. So the messenger stood there and he said, I stand here. All the plain of Arafah is a standing area. Waqaftu hahuna, Arafat kulluha mawqifun. So you don't need to bother yourself. Wherever you are has been termed as Arafat by the messenger. And climbing the mountain is not part of Hajj. There are people who think if I don't climb the mountain, my Hajj is not accepted. No. Even the messenger did not climb the mountain. But if you want to climb, go ahead and climb. But remember, it's not part of the Hajj. Is it clear? So after the sunset, that is the night of Salah. After the sunset, it is Maghrib time. The Allah that asked you to pray at the stipulated time of Maghrib said now he doesn't want you to pray. Wait until when you reach Muzdalifah. And Muzdalifah is a plain area between Mina and Arafat, but very close to Mina than Arafat. Because between Arafat to Mina to Muzdalifah is about 9.5 kilometers. And between Muzdalifah and Mina is about 3-point-something kilometers. So you can see the closeness. In fact, some of the tents of Mina are now being added to Muzdalifah because of the expansion. So now, after the sunset, you are not allowed to pray Maghrib in the plain of Arafah. You have to go to Muzdalifah. Even if it is going to be 3 o'clock in the night, go there and pray. But they said it's permissible after leaving the Arafat, as you are going to Muzdalifah on your way, you can pray. But make sure you don't pray Maghrib in the plain of Arafah. It is haram. You don't do that. So the buses are there to convey us back to where? To Muzdalifah. Yesterday, as we were leaving Muna, we passed by Muzdalifah and we went to Arafat. And today we are going to be conveyed back to the same Muzdalifah that we passed by yesterday. So in Muzdalifah there are no tents. It's an open area. Just to demonstrate the Qiyamah. It's an open area, Muzdalifah. So everyone is outside. Everyone is outside. The king, the rulers and the ruled, the poor and the rich. We are all outside to show Allah that we are His servants and nothing more. So in that night of Muzdalifah, after reaching the Muzdalifah, you combine Maghrib and Isha. Maghrib 3 rakats and Isha 2 rakats. That night you are expected to sleep because of the activities of tomorrow. Tomorrow there are major activities that are going to take place on Salah day. It is called Yawmul Hajjul Akbar, the bigger day of Hajj. Why? Because you have 5 activities that are expected of you on that day. So you sleep, you spend the night at Muzdalifah. After the midnight, the women, the weak, the sick, the aged are permitted to start going. But you as a man, we don't have any problem. You have to spend the night. Spending the night is compulsory. If you don't spend the night, the penalty is you are going to slaughter a she-goat or a ram. That's the penalty. Except when you have an excuse of either escorting someone who is aged, or maybe someone who is sick, or any of these excuses. Or for some people who have some activities to attend to, like the medical doctors can start going also. They will go in that night, they will throw the jamra and pass down to Makkah. Make their tawaf before the crowds come. That's why the messenger said, let them start going. The women, the aged, the sick, and those that have something attached to al-hazay of their work. Maybe like I said, the medical doctors are needed there. But you have to spend the night at Muzdalifah. Spending the night is compulsory. So tomorrow morning, after spending the night, in the morning you pray Maghrib. You pray Subuh prayer, You pray morning prayer, 2 rakats. Then you remember Allah until when the bright of the day has started coming out. Then you pick 7 pebbles, 7 small stones. Is it clear? Not big ones. Because people think that the Satan is reality and therefore they are going to stone him to death. No, Satan is just a demonstration. The person that stoned the Satan was Ibrahim. And here we are doing it as an act of ibadah. So that is why the messenger said, if you come to stone the Jamara, you only say Bismillah once and you say Allahu Akbar by each pebble that you stone the Jamara with. Is it clear? So you are going to pick 7 pebbles. Inshallah, it will be demonstrated tomorrow during the practicals. Okay, there are 3 satans. Is it clear? Jamrats. We have, as you are going to Makkah, leaving Mina, the first Jamra is the small one, then you have the middle one, then you have the last one, which is the bigger Jamra. So on Salah day, you are only going to stone only 1 Jamra, and that's the last one. This is a small Jamra, you pass by the small Jamra. Though the police are there, they will not allow you even to go closer. This middle Jamra also has been condoned and protected by the police. Then you go to the last one, that's the Jamra you are going to stone on that day. So you come to that Jamra with those 7 pebbles that you picked from Muzdalifah or on your way to Muna. You just start throwing it, Bismillah once, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, 7 times. As simple as ABC. Those performing Tamato. For those performing Qiran and Ifrad, they don't have any cut of their hair until on this day. So they only have 1 cut. But you that you perform Umrah and you enjoy yourself, you make the cutting of your hair at the end of the Umrah, and then after this Jamara, you also shave your head, and then that's the second activity. The third one is slaughtering the animal of the sacrifice, the Hadiyah, which you have paid for, and you will be represented, inshallah Rabbul Alameen. Some people will pay right from here in Nigeria at the Jaiz Bank, which is cheaper. Let me say it this way, it's cheaper. I know it's about 200,000 now. A ram. Is it? 250 go? But there in Saudi Arabia, last year was 1,000 riyals. And I know it's going to be added today. So 1,000 riyals is about 350 or 400,000. Because riyal is now 400 per riyal. So you are spending 400,000 against 250. If you have the money, please try to pay at the Jaiz Bank. If you are not,
if your subscription was not with them,
now?
even if your subscription is not with Jaiz Bank.
No, if you don't need subscription, you don't need to have an account there. Just take your passport, take it to them, they will register your name, they will give you a receipt. And it will be sent to the Islamic Bank, Islamic Development Bank in Jeddah. They will send it for Hadiyah. It's just an advice. But 1,000 riyals is equivalent to either 350 or 400,000 naira. You know, 2022, we didn't pay it until when we went there, and it was about 900 riyals. When we calculated, we said, let me send the money, someone will pay on my behalf here. He paid and he sent the receipt to me. 90,000 then. So I think this is an advice. In this issue of sacrifice, you are going to be represented. Or, in other words, if you want to go and buy it yourself at the slaughterhouse, you go there, which is very difficult. You go there, and the rule is you must slaughter it, divide the meat, and go, which is difficult. So it's better you pay the money either here or in the Holy Land, so that they can do it on your behalf. So that's the third activity. Now, so as I was saying, we have 5 activities on Salah Day. We have stoning the Jamara, we did. Shaving the hair, we did. Slaughtering the animal, represented. There remain 2, and that is the Tawaf and Sa'i. Is it clear? So after stoning the Jamara and shaving, now you go down to Mecca. Either by trekking or by bus, you go to Mecca. Go direct to Masjid al-Haram. You are going to perform Tawaf in the same manner you did for Umrah. The only difference is the intention. That one is for Umrah and this one is for Hajj. And intention is here in the heart. You know that you knew that you have done for Umrah, and this one is going to be for Hajj. And you are going to do it in the same manner by pointing at Hajar al-Aswad. Commence your tawaf. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Allahumma imanan bik, wa tasdiqan bi kitabik, wa wafa'an bi ahadik, wa ittiba'a li sunnat nabiyyik. You go around. When you reach here, you say Rabbana atina to the end, until when you complete 7 cycles. After that, you go behind Maqam Ibrahim, pray 2 rakats, drink your zamzam, go and make sa'i, because those that are performing tamattu, we have 2 sa'i. We have enjoyed ourselves, and here we are going to pay. For those that are making ifradi and qiran, they have only 1 sa'i. But we, since we have enjoyed ourselves, we are going to have 2 sa'i, 1 for Umrah and 1 for Hajj. Is it clear? So now you are going to perform sa'i between Safa and Marwa in the same manner you did yesterday. Starting from Safa, inna Safa wal Marwata min sha'ir ila akhir al-ayah. Then you ascend the Safa, you climb on Safa, you turn and face the Qibla, make the dua, Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah to the end. You go down, you juggle in the green light, you go to Marwa, you climb on Marwa, you face the Qibla, you make dua, you come down until when you complete those 7 cycles like you did during your Umrah. After you have done this, so the activities of that day has been completed. Now to remain the ibadah of staying at Mina for 2 or 3 days. And that's what makes the completion of the Hajj. On that day, after stoning, after the Tawaf and Sa'i, you go back to your hotel. Take your ritual bath, sleep, eat and drink. But make sure in the evening, you leave Makkah for Muna. You are going back to Muna, where you spend the night on the 8th day. You are going to the same tent that you spend the night before the Arafat day. The same tent. Make sure you leave Makkah before the sunset. If intentionally you allow the sun to set on you in Makkah, you are going to slaughter a ram. Another 250,000 naira. So please try to leave Makkah before the sunset. There is nothing wrong in a situation where you leave Makkah on your way and the sunset on you. But for you to remain in Makkah intentionally, just like a king, then you are going to pay the ransom if the sun sets on you. You start living before the sunset. You go back to Muna for the remaining activities of the 3 days. That is Ayyamut Tashriq. Ayyamut Tashriq. Ayyamu Mina. The days of Mina. That is the 11th, the 12th, and the 13th day of Dhul Hijjah. So, the messenger mentioned is Ayyamu Mina, Ayyamu Akli wa Shurbin wa Dhikrullah. The days of Mina are the days for eating, drinking, and remembrance of Allah. So try to remember Allah as much as you can. Don't play with this opportunity. Remember the messenger and his companions were there. Many people are there. And many people want to go there. They are not given the privilege to go there. So please remember Allah as much as you can. So after going back to Mina, you pray there. If you are able to go back during Maghrib, before Maghrib. Some of them will go back even during Isha. Some people will be lost till after a day before you can see them. But the good news is you are going back together. Inshallah, you are going to meet with one another. Some people will be lost. Of course, there must be lost and found. But go back to Mina, stay there, spend those days and nights in that Mina. On 11th, after Zuhur, that's the time for stoning the Jamrah. But because of the crowd, the scholars said it is permissible for us to start after Duha, like 7, 8, 9. So people will start going so that to reduce the crowd. Otherwise, if 2 million or 3 million will all go together after Zuhur, it will not be good. So that is why people will start going after morning prayers, after the sun rises, they will start stone their Jamrah and come back. As this group are going, another group is coming back. That's the way that we are reducing the calamity that may befall on the Ummah if the crowd is there. So on the 11th day, yesterday on Salah day, you stone only one Jamrah. And which one? The last one. The big Jamrah, wasn't it? So today, you are going to stone the 3 Jamrah, starting from the small one. So which means you are going to pick 7 pebbles times 3. That's 21. You pick 21 pebbles. Make sure they are 21. Isn't it? Those pebbles could be picked either from Mina or even on your way to Jamrah. As you are going, when you reach the small Jamrah, pick out 7 pebbles and start stoning the Jamrah like I said. Go at the end tail of that side. You have a space. You go and start throwing Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar 7 times. When you finish, you move away a little, raise your hands, facing the Qibla and supplicate. And then you go to the second Jamrah, the same thing. You stone the Jamrah with 7 pebbles saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar 7 times. Then you move away a little from the Jamrah. You face the Qibla and supplicate. That's what the messenger did. Then you go to the last Jamrah. You stone the Jamrah with 7 pebbles saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar 7 times. Then there is no supplication after that. There is no supplication after stoning the big Jamrah either on Salah day or any day. It's only these 2 that you have supplication after them on 11, 12, even on 13. So after stoning, you come back to Mina. Continue praying, remembering Allah, until next day, that is the 12th day. Then you also pick another 27 set of pebbles. You start with this one, saying Allahu Akbar, Allah Akbar 7 times, you supplicate. You go to the middle one, to stone it 7 times and supplicate. You go to the last one, if you finish, there is no supplication. Then from that day of the 12th of Dhul Hijjah, now you have a choice. Either to go to Mecca, you have completed your Hajj, or if you want to make it more completed, you go back for the 13th day. You go back to Mina, and on 13th day you pick 21 syllables for this one, and that one. You pray after this one, you supplicate after this one, there is no that one. Is it clear? فَمَنْ تَعَجَّلَ فِي يَوْمَيْنِ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. Whosoever has 10, he's going back to Mecca after 2 days, that is the stoning of the second day, there is nothing wrong in that. وَمَنْ تَأَخَّرَ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. And whosoever decides to delay his stay in Mina till the next day of 13th, there is nothing wrong in that. And of course, he who delays has more reward than who has tens and go. But there is nothing wrong in going back to Mina, to Mecca on this 12th day. So after this, you have completed your Hajj. What remains is only Tawaful Wada, the farewell Tawaf. And that will be announced to the pilgrims or those that know their time from their tickets. They know when they are going. Then it will be announced to them that the bus will come and pick you to the airport. Please, if you pray so prayer, perform your Tawaf. The reason is the messenger said to the pilgrims, he said, the first activity that should be done in Masjid al-Haram should be Tawaf, and should be the last activity in Masjid al-Haram. So when you perform Tawaf, you come and pick your bag and go. They said if you sleep again or you go back to Haram and pray, that Tawaf is null and void, it has been cancelled, you have to make another one. So make sure it's the last activity, only Tawaf, no prayer. But there is Nafila after that Tawaf. And that's the end of the Hajj. Let's discuss about the remaining part before the question and answers. Okay, the compulsory acts of Hajj. So what are the compulsory acts of Hajj? Number 1, the compulsory act. We have had the pillars, but the pillars of Hajj are how many? 4. That of Umrah, 3. The Umrah has Niyyah, Tawaf and Sa'i. Then additional to that, Hajj has standing on the plain of Arafat. So Niyyah, Arafat, Tawaf and Sa'i. These are the pillars of Hajj, and we are going to see the compulsory acts, which if you miss one of them, you are going to pay a penalty of sacrificing animal. Number 1 is taking intention from the miqat. I mentioned it earlier. You don't declare the intention until when you reach miqat, and you will not pass miqat without making intention. If you pass miqat without intention, there is a penalty. You slaughter a goat. Then staying in the Arafat till sunset. If you leave Arafat before sunset, there is a penalty. It is compulsory. You must remain in the plain of Arafat till sunset. Then number 3, spending the night at Muzdalifah in the night of the 10th day, night of Salah. You must spend the night except for those that are having excuses. The women, the aged, and the rest I mentioned. Then also the days of Tashriq, spending the day of stoning the Jamarat on staying at Mina on 11th, 12th, or even 13th if you can, is also compulsory. Then stoning the Jamarat is also compulsory. If you miss any of them, you are going to pay the ransom. You are going to have a penalty of sacrificing animal. Then shaving after the Umrah and after Hajj is also compulsory. If you don't do it, then you are going to pay. Then farewell Tawaf is also compulsory. The farewell Tawaf I mentioned just a minute ago. These 7, they are compulsory. Niyyah at the miqat, staying at Arafat till sunset, spending the night at Muzdalifah, staying in Mina on 11th, 12th and 13th, then stoning the Jamarat, shaving and farewell Tawaf. These are the compulsory acts of Hajj. What are the sunnah acts that if you miss one of them, there is nothing, you are missing the reward, but there is no penalty. Number one is taking the verse during the, what do you call it? If you are going to make the intention of either Umrah or Hajj, you take a ritual verse like that of Janaba is sunnah. Put ihram. Putting the ihram is also sunnah. Then talbiyah. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. If someone misses talbiyah, there is no penalty for that, but he has already missed a lot of reward. Kissing the Hajarul Aswad, the black stone, is also sunnah. So here I want to remind people that those that are thinking that I must push this one, elbow this one to touch the Hajarul Aswad, you are trying to do sunnah and harming others. Harming others is haram. Touching that black stone is sunnah. So leave that sunnah so that it does not take you to haram. Then ittiba, that is exposing the shoulder, is also sunnah. Then jogging during the first 3 rounds is also sunnah during Tawaf al-Umrah. And then the night of Arafat in Mina, spending the night at Mina next day of Arafat. That is on 8th day, going to Mina to spend the night is also sunnah. So even if you don't go there, you can start going on Arafat day. Is it clear? Then Tawaf al-Qudum. When we say Tawaf al-Qudum, we are talking of those that are performing Qirani and what do you call it? And the Ifrad. In their own case, if they come, it is sunnah for them to start Tawaf. They can do Tawaf. That Tawaf is sunnah. But after performing their Hajj, they must do Tawaf. But in that Tawaf, if they attach Sa'i with that Tawaf, after Hajj, they will not renew they will not do the Sa'i. They have only one Sa'i. These are the Sunnah acts. The prohibited acts that I mentioned, the prohibitions and restriction is shaving the hair, cutting the fingernails, applying perfume, covering the head, putting sewn clothes, hunting, hugging one's wife. Is it clear? Then if he had an affair with his wife, then his Hajj is nullified. If during the Hajj you did what you did of having an affair with one's family, the Hajj is cancelled and he has to perform it next year. Contracting marriage during Ihram is also prohibited. These are the things that we have for today. Insha'Allah Rabbul Alameen. I ask Allah to make our Hajj Hajjul Mabrur and to ease our affairs during this journey and to make it a safer and easy going journey. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy for you. He will purify your intention, because Hajj is all about Tawheed. Try your best to purify your intention, to have a lot of taqwa, because that is what will guide you. It is your taqwa that will make you to be successful in this world and in the hereafter, especially in this journey of Hajj. So, and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless what you have learned today. Don't forget that tomorrow we are having other important lectures. The practical is important. No matter what Marlon said, it's better to see it practically. It will be more important to you and it will stay in your mind so that wherever you are, you reflect and you see it. And inshallah, we'll have a section for our ladies where we'll discuss strictly things that affect us as women. Especially our monthly cycle is always the key thing that once you are in Hajj and there is a problem, you are just destabilized. So we need to talk properly about it, ask questions, and then pray. Prayer is important. Allah will truly guide you. He said, Aduni astajib lakum. Call on me, I will answer you. And truly, if Allah does not want to answer your prayers, He will not enable you to call Him. So intensify your prayers right from home, and then try your best to be there for others, because khairun nas man yanfa'un nas. When you are helping others, Allah will help you. I pray that Allah will accept your Hajj, will give you an acceptable Hajj, and you enable all of us to be with you on that day in Arafah. May Allah make it so, and may He continue to bless us and accept this little effort from all of us. Bless our Mala and make Jannatul Firdausi to be our final abode. We hope to see you tomorrow, and may Allah bless you all. Assalamu alaikum.
صلوا على النبي الكريم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين. اللهم يسر ولا تعسر علينا. اللهم يسر ولا تعسر علينا. اللهم حسبنا حسابا يسيرا. اللهم حسبنا حسابا يسيرا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به. واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اللهم إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اللهم إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اللهم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.